The Battle of Okinawa, fought from April 1st to June 22, 1945, was a pivotal engagement in the Pacific Theater during World War II. Situated just 340 miles south of mainland Japan, Okinawa held immense strategic importance for the Allies as they planned the final assault on Japan. American forces, supported by British and Canadian units, launched the invasion with landings on the island's western coast. Initial resistance was light, but as Allied troops pushed inland, they encountered fierce Japanese defenses that included intricate networks of caves, bunkers, and the heavily fortified Shuri line around the city of Shuri. The battle quickly escalated into a grueling and bloody conflict. The Japanese defenders, under General Mitsuru Ushijima, employed a strategy of attrition, aiming to inflict as many casualties as possible on the advancing Allied forces. The terrain and the tenacity of Japanese resistance made every inch of ground bitterly contested. The Allied progress was slowed by the need to systematically clear each cave and bunker, often requiring close-quarters combat that exacted a heavy toll on both sides. One of the most harrowing aspects of the Battle of Okinawa was the unprecedented scale of kamikaze attacks launched by the Japanese. These suicide missions targeted Allied ships with planes carrying explosives, resulting in significant naval losses and casualties. The intensity and effectiveness of these attacks underscored the extreme measures Japan was willing to take to defend its territory. Civilian casualties were tragically high during the battle, with Okinawan civilians caught in the crossfire or forcibly conscripted by Japanese forces. Many civilians sought refuge in caves and makeshift shelters, facing hardship, hunger, and often becoming unintentional targets of military operations. The battle concluded with the eventual defeat of Japanese forces on June 22, 1945. Rather than face capture, General Ushijima and his chief of staff, General Isamu Cho, committed suicide. The high cost of the battle in terms of lives lost, both military and civilian, and the relentless nature of the fighting profoundly influenced Allied strategic thinking. It underscored the challenges and human toll of invading Japan's mainland, influencing subsequent decisions, including the use of atomic bombs to hasten Japan's surrender. In the broader context of World War II, the Battle of Okinawa remains a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made and the devastation wrought by war. It left a lasting impact on military tactics, the understanding of civilian involvement in conflict zones, and the reconstruction and reconciliation efforts in post-war Japan. After the Battle of Okinawa and the subsequent surrender of Japan in August 1945, Japan underwent a transformative period. The unconditional surrender led to the Allied occupation of Japan, primarily overseen by the United States under General Douglas MacArthur. This occupation aimed to demilitarize and democratize Japan, dismantling its war industry and government structures that had supported militarism. The occupation also focused on rebuilding Japan's economy and society, implementing reforms such as land redistribution and the establishment of a new constitution in 1947, which renounced war and granted universal suffrage. The post-war years saw Japan emerge as an economic powerhouse through rapid industrialization and technological advancements, eventually becoming one of the world's leading economies by the latter half of the 20th century. Japan's transformation from a defeated aggressor to a prosperous democracy underpinned its remarkable recovery and global influence in subsequent decades.